So far we have seen how the purchase order is created, having a purchase order with a header and can have multiple lines, and each line can have multiple shipments, and each shipment having multiple distributions. And we saw how the data is being stored in the back end within the tables, and how the data is when it is stored in the base table, the underscore all table, the org ID is used to logically separate the data, and within the app schema the org ID value is set so that only the data associated to the corresponding org ID is visible, and the data associated with the other org IDs is hidden from a security standpoint. So now let's go ahead and approve this purchase order. So right now the status is incomplete. Now let's go and click on approve and uncheck the email here and submit for approval. Now once we submit for approval, it takes it out of this screen and puts it into the approval queue. So when I say OK, it takes that approval, then kicks off the workflow process and submits this purchase order for approval. Again, this whole session, I just want you guys to just kind of understand the flow and how the system works, and I don't want you folks to be bogged down as to how you would need to do it. It's more of an information that how the system works, so you're kind of familiar with the way the screens work and the way the system works. All right. So here, by clicking on OK, again, the workflow is getting kicked off, the PO approval workflow, and based on the rules defined within the workflow, if the total amount here, the $1,500, is within the limit, it would do an auto approval. But if it is over the threshold, it will actually forward it to the manager in the next hierarchy. So here we see, looks like the PAT has the appropriate authority, so we have the purchase order is approved. Now if you would have if the total amount was above some threshold amount, this would have gone for approval and would have indicated the status as requires approval. So great. So here the purchase order has been saved and approved, and this actually completes the purchase order, and the vendor, when they receive the purchase order, they would actually go ahead and fulfill this purchase order. Okay. So the next in the next video we will look at creating a payables invoice, and in that example we'll try to create a payables invoice as if for Office Depot, and tie it back to this purchase order, and kind of see how in an ERP system how the things are integrated, and how based on integration it enables the organization to validate and check the correctness of data.